Hey guys, well I thought I would jump on quick and do a little bit of a live show today, getting in a little bit deeper to some statistics. I know it's the off season, it's kind of the middle of the doldrums of the off season, so I thought maybe some of you folks out there would love to talk about the Packers because there's plenty to talk about, and this is the perfect time of year to go in, dig a little deeper into some of the statistics. I don't do statistics just for their own sake, however. What we want to do is look at some of these things and talk then about what the Packers have done via free agency, some of these rookies coming in through the draft, how they may improve the situation, what we might need to do, where our strengths are, where our weaknesses are, and then also what teams might we need to keep our eye on. I mean, there are some obvious teams on the Packers' schedule next year that most people have circled, namely the Atlanta Falcons, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, if you're going to do a top three of the 2017 schedule, those are some rough teams that the Packers have to face next year. And by the way, if you jump on and you like the show, if you want to have a question, you have something, a talking point, something you want to talk about, go ahead. I am more than open to that. But in the meantime, what I thought today, and this may actually become a daily show, I don't know, but what I thought today is I'll talk about some passing statistics. All Packers fans know we have got the best quarterback out there. Talent-wise, Aaron Rodgers is bar none. He's head and shoulders above everyone else. You can talk about your Tom Brady. He doesn't have the mobility that Aaron Rodgers does. You can talk about Matt Ryan, the league MVP. He does not have the mobility that Aaron Rodgers has. So Aaron Rodgers, we know, is going to be one of the top in many of these statistical categories. But I think something's going to jump out at us today as we look through a few of these passing statistics and talk about the folks that we're going to meet up with. Obviously, we'll talk about Aaron Rodgers. And of course, the first place to start is total yards. Now, generally speaking, the offenses and the defenses now are basically ranked on total yards. I just have to put my 2 cents worth. I think that's a joke. I mean, the game of football is about scoring touchdowns, breaking the plane of the end zone, and total yards does not necessarily translate into that. Now, it's obvious that if you gain more yards, you have a much better chance of getting into the end zone. I understand that. But to some extent, the offense and defense in terms of total yards ranking is a little bit bogus to me. However, we're talking about passing yards today, so we're focusing on the quarterbacks. And I imagine many out there can guess who is number one in the league, but it's not Tom Brady, and it's not Matt Ryan, and it's not Aaron Rodgers. It's Drew Brees of the Saints with 5,208 yards passing last year. Matt Ryan coming in second. It's a close second at 49-44. But guess who the Packers play week 7? The New Orleans Saints. So we're going to be meeting up with Drew Brees. And I think Drew Brees and the Saints, they've had a little bit of issue in the past. You know, you look at a guy that 5,208 yards and didn't make the playoffs, but he is not anyone to be trifled with in terms of a quarterback if he can put up those kinds of numbers. We're looking at a 70% completion percentage as well. So with that said, we know Matt Ryan is second. Then you got your Kirk Cousins. Aaron Rodgers is fourth on the list with 44-28. Hey, Alec. Good to see you. We are talking some stats today, so it is good to see you. If you got a comment you want to make or something you want me to comment, let me know, friend. I am more than willing to do that. However, I will note, YouTube Live is a little new to me. I did one from home because I've been trying to do the Out of Breath Armstrong Packer Minute. My data plan is not giving me the coverage I need, so I thought we'd dig in a little deeper and do a show tonight. Maybe while you're getting ready for supper, if you're back on Central Time, it's about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock Eastern. So we are talking about the fact that Drew Brees topped the list in yards last year. Matt Ryan second, Aaron Rodgers third. And the interesting thing, and I know that many of you could predict, where is Dak Prescott? This is another guy that the Packers have to run into again. I think as a second, fourth round quarterback pick. I give a lot of credit to Dak Prescott as a rookie coming into the league. Tom Brady is 20th down here. Alex Smith, we won't snicker any at that, will we, is 22nd on this list. while Aaron Rodgers is at number 4. It's not a tie either, is it? Nope. But let's see, Dak Prescott toward the bottom of this list, and I'm going to try to track him down right here just to let you guys know. If you're on, I'm just on NFL.com. We're just sorting these stats by these different categories, and you can follow along if you want to. And if not, if you're driving, please don't follow along. Please. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers, right up at the top of the list. And you can. So what does that mean for this Packers team? Because the 2017 Packers team is what really matters right now. So if I was going to say, if I was going to make a call, number one thing that I would say is, listen, we added Martellus Bennett, we added Lance Kendricks. We already have a Richard Rodgers who can catch the ball, not as much of a run blocker, but with Martellus Bennett who can run block, big guy, 6'6", almost 270 pounds, and Lance Kendricks who can block. I think Aaron Rodgers is looking at an upgrade at the tight end position. Now, that's nothing against Jared Cook, who had a fantastic year, was much appreciated, and bought him. And if he hadn't come to the Packers, do you think he'd be playing for the Raiders right now? I don't think so. So more power to him. But I do think the Packers received an upgrade. Now we've got Ty Montgomery in the backfield as our running back. And Ty Montgomery, this is a guy who, was a wide receiver. And so I've said this. I said it on my live Facebook show. I go Monday through Friday, by the way, if you want to get on Good Packer Nation Morning. That's Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and it's at facebook.com/Green Bay Packer Nation. But, this is an Aaron Rodgers that, all right, crack cocaine. Gonna get banned? All right. This is an Aaron Rodgers that looks at an upgraded wide receiving core, as far as I can tell. You've got the two rookies we brought in Yancey and Dupree. Now, these guys they're gonna be able to have a chance to work their way into the lineup, I think, because frankly, we're already set. We got Jordy Nelson, we got Devontae Adams. Randall Cobb healthy is, make no bones about it, Randall Cobb healthy is a dynamic player in the NFL. Geronimo Allison came on strong. We saw some good things out of Trevor Davis as well. Maybe Jeff Janis on the bubble a little bit, depending on whether he can make it via special teams. But Aaron Rodgers at 4,400 yards, and it looks to improve. Alec is making a comment right now. I feel like people are not giving Drew a lot of respect around the NFL, and that is a great comment. So let's sort again. We know number one in overall yards, and that doesn't mean you go to the playoffs because the Saints did not. However, it does mean your quarterback is doing something right. What about yards per game? Let's take a look there. Drew Brees, number one at 325 yards per game. Jason, I appreciate it, man. If you guys like these videos, be sure to let me know. I got an inkling that we could talk about these different statistical categories on a daily basis or a nightly basis on YouTube. And so please, if you would, hit the like and subscribe on the videos. That helps me out a great deal. But yeah, we're seeing, and this is a great comment that was made by Jason, I think, that Drew Brees is kind of underrated. I mean, he flies under the radar because his team goes nowhere on a yearly basis. However, we are looking to 2017 Week 7 matchup. Does this not look like a possible trap game to you? For a couple of reasons. Number one, Drew Brees is as good as it gets in the NFL. And I'm not taking anything away from your Tom Brady's, your Matt Ryan's, or your Aaron Rodgers. All right, but he is as good as it gets. All right, now he threw 15 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers threw what, 7? But, this guy he's astounding. Let's go for average. I gave you yards per game. Let's go passing average yards, which I don't think would be. You're going to have at the top of that list, you're going to have those guys, those quarterbacks that went in for like one pass and threw a long pass. And I don't see Drew Brees near the top of this one, and that's basically, you got your Tom Brady's in that conversation. But I just want to say, guys, when you look at this and you look at how well the Saints do, and Drew Brees in particular does, he is number one, first downs as well. What about 20-plus yard throws? Let's check this. So we know Matt Ryan's going to be right up there. Drew Brees is number one. Most people would have thought the Atlanta Falcons. Drew Brees does not have the same wide receiver core that the Falcons have. 40-plus yards. Matt Ryan tops the list of 40-plus yards. And Drew Brees doesn't have as many. He's down, but he's still tied, a three-way tie for ninth, which really, if you talk all the ties, he is 1, 2, 3, 4. He's fifth, basically. Anybody smell a trap game? Does anybody smell a trap game? Now watch, week 7, folks, we are meeting Drew Brees. It is at Lambeau, so advantage Packers, right? And won't it be interesting to see John Kuhn come back to Lambeau Field? I wonder what the crowd does when Kuhn gets the ball. I got a feeling there's going to be a huge Kuhn that echoes through Lambeau Field when John Kuhn gets the ball for the Saints. I don't know. I would be so tempted to just be giving it a Kuhn. It almost sounds like a boo, so maybe it would work. Alex agrees this is a trap game, and here's another reason, right? So here's the deal. We go through, let's say we beat the Seahawks at home. Now maybe we struggle with the Falcons. Maybe we drop that one away. They're opening their new stadium. They're a high-powered offense. We couldn't handle them last time around. I'm not making a prediction, but let's just say. Cincinnati Bengals, no one to be trifled with, right? We close out on Thursday, the first quarter of the season, with the Chicago Bears. Now, we come back and have to play at Dallas. Let's say we get a win there. Then we come back, we have to play 2 away games in a row at Minnesota. Now we're getting a little run down. And again, thankfully, we don't have to play 4 road games like we did last year. We don't get 4 out of 5 at home either, but it's a more normal season. However, week 8 is our bye, and we come back home after a 2-game road trip to face the New Orleans Saints. And that to me signals, possibly the young kids looking forward to the bye week, maybe not quite as focused as they need to be. And you certainly have to be focused, especially what was our problem last year? Defensive backfield, not being able to cover receivers. And guys like Matt Ryan, quarterbacks like Matt Ryan, tearing our defensive backfield apart. So again, it goes to the conversation of the 2017 Packers because our defense, I believe, is different. If you agree, then let me know. I think our defense is going to be different from front to back, really. I think bringing in Ricky Jean-Francois is going to help the run game, but we know in that Saints game in particular, this trap game we're talking about today, Drew Brees is going to be called upon early and often in this game. And so what we're going to need to do is get pressure out of Perry and Matthews, I think. We're going to need to be able to cover on the back end of that. And thankfully, we have added Josh Jones to the defensive backfield, who I think is going to be a stud, frankly. I think this guy is going to be a Pro Bowler. I think the addition of Kevin King by week 7, the New Orleans Saints, this sort of trap game that we're talking about, I think King is on the field as a starter by then. I am not sure he's a week 1 starter. I'm not saying that because of his skill set or any of the physicals. They're all there. But I do think the Packers would be best suited and best served by working him into the system. So we are looking at a major trap game here, but I do think we have another opportunity. Let's see what we've got here. I'm going to take a look around because we've got some... and the Patriots. I love the Patriots talk, the Tom Brady talk. And Aaron Rodgers is going to go ahead and put this topic to rest because Aaron Rodgers is a much better player, much better quarterback. So you can get on and drop all the F-bombs. And frankly, I'm not going to drop one back at you, but you deserve it because that kind of stupidity is beyond. And you're talking on a Packer show, number 1. So I'm just going to go ahead and lambaste you. Why don't you head back down to Grandma's basement, get on the couch, play some Madden. You'll feel better. You'll be all right. And enjoy the fact that the Packers have 13 championships. And I love this. And 13 championships, 2 three-peats, which you've never had. And so you can enjoy your Johnny-come-lately Tom Brady. We will take 13. Let me do this for you. You won't understand it because you're an ignorant moron. 13 is greater than you, boy. And so at any rate, the Packers need to watch this trap game against Drew Brees, and we'll talk more about that later. I want to talk about some more statistics, passing statistics. You're looking at guys. We didn't talk about much about total yards. And so, for example, let's go down and find out if Tom Brady is truly as great as thought. Total yards, we'll sort by total yards. And we'll see, Eli Manning is better. And let's see, Derek Carr. And Dak Prescott at 19 is better. And Tom Brady is 20th in the league. And you can count all the rings you want, but Tom Brady is not the reason they're getting it done at this point. It started with Adam Vinatieri, and then it was their defenses. And guess who? Guess who won, by the way, the last time the Packers met the Patriots in the Super Bowl? That would be Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers, and Desmond Howard and Reggie White. So, at any rate, this is an interesting discussion we're having here. All right, interceptions. We know Aaron Rodgers prides himself on not throwing the picks. This is the interesting thing about Aaron Rodgers, though. He extends plays. Which puts him in danger, but he still doesn't throw the interception. Doing, as obviously some people don't understand, what Tom Brady can never do. Tom Brady couldn't juke out a dirty sock on the field. He just couldn't do it. Aaron Rodgers is in the prime of his career, will have probably a dozen of these trophies by the time he's done, and Tom Brady will be eating Aaron Rodgers' dust. So with that, we will close up the show, and again, I will probably get back on and chat with you tomorrow about the same time. In the meantime, I will go ahead and make sure this moron that's been on today never gets a chance to come back on this show. Alex says, I'm happy that the players voted Aaron Rodgers number 6 of the top 100. It's going to be fuel for Aaron to take the Packers for another Super Bowl run. And that's exactly right, Alec. This is where the Packers team is. We needed to shore up the defense. We got a little bit of that done. We still have some question marks. We need to see these guys in training camp. We need to see them in the preseason. And we need to see them take it on the field. As Joe Witt Jr. says, the only thing that matters is what you do week 1 against Seattle. And we're going to see that very soon. All right, folks, I will catch up with you again tomorrow. Like the video, subscribe if you want to catch up with us on a daily basis. I'm Brady Augustine, your host. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Go Pack.